In 1989, the news editor of the Empire, Kansas Gazette, a Republican and a liberal, wrote a ringing editorial titled, "What's the Matter with Kansas?" This blast at the Populist Party helped elect William McKinley and called national attention to a small-town newspaperman who could express the values of tens of millions of upright, tolerant people. He coined the phrase tin horn politician and styled himself as an authentic voice of the grassroots. He was editor of the Gazette for 49 years, though its circulation never rose to more than 8,000. It became his platform for commentary that gained and held international recognition. In June of 1936, he gave a commencement address at the graduating class of Northwestern University in Illinois. These graduates were the young men and women who in 5 years would be bearing the brunt of the American participation in World War II. He revealed the screw loose in this mental process. Warning, you have this dementia in your blood, and identifying its manifestation. Your fathers, mothers, and remote ancestors for several thousand years believed in the reality of duty. Upon that madness they built the world. He presents long thoughts in short sentences. He anticipates by a generation the longing for a new frontier and packs much food for thought in such passages as, "You may love for the moment the indolent sense of futility that comes with the grand cynicism of youth, but life, experience, and hazards of your day and time will bring out all your courage bred into you." About all that a commencement orator can do for his auditors is to turn their faces around. He looks back upon the world as he thinks it was. Then he considers the world as he thinks it is. Finally, in his receding perspective, he discloses the pictured phantasm which he hopes will be the future. Thereupon, his young listeners may see mirrored in the gloss of his picture the world which they think they will make. It is a pleasant exercise. This commencement oratory, which floods our land every June, may be an effective anesthetic which youth may take at its second birth. Out of the solid, unyielding, factual environment of childhood and of books, out of the substantial fabric of the curriculum, with its sure reward of grade, class standing, and satisfying compensation, into the bewildering, hazy, and altogether ironic mockeries that we call the humorous euphony, real life. I stand here tiptoeing near the end of my 80 years and 10. There you sit across an abysm scarcely 50 feet wide, but deeper than the distance to the moon. I come out of one dream world that is memory. You go into a visionary world that is hope. I tell you of the things that I imagine are true in my world. You hold in your hearts the picture of your world that shall be. We dwell on these two different planets. How can I hope to get across the chasm of time and space any hint, even a flickering shadow of my truth that will reach your hearts? For my world seemed to be a static world when I stood 50 years ago where you stand now. My forebears since Caesar's day had not greatly changed the tools with which they made their clothes, got their food, built their houses, nor had they changed greatly in those 20 centuries the philosophy upon which they erected their future. Today, you look back upon a world that has moved so far in 100 years that nothing you see and feel, touch and taste, hope, believe and love is as it was when your grandfathers learned from your grandfathers how to live in another day. So what I shall say here you may well discount. It is only the truth as I see it. Yet it may have some bearing, though heaven only knows what upon your lives. Perhaps I can tell you something, and being called here I shall try. We know we have not done God's work perfectly. The world we have made out of the inheritance of our grandfathers is a pretty sad botch. It is full of gross injustices. Obviously, a couple of centuries of bad, hard work needs to be done on it before America is turned out finished in its millennial beauty. But with all these inequities, the only thing does hold together. We turn our country over to you in one piece, which is something, even if it isn't a pretty piece. It is yours with its spiritual hereditaments. And may I be pardoned the vanity of one who worked on the job if I try to give you some idea of what has held this nation in unity during a century and a half, when in many other parts of the globe, races and tongues and economic units have been breaking into small states, magnifying nationalism into a vice.
A little tough.
135.